Hey guys, welcome back to the next Disney Plus showcase, this time for Falcon and the Winter Soldier. And for this video, I have Falcon himself, Bucky Barnes, aka the Winter Soldier, stand-in Captain America, because why not, and also Zemo. Now these four figures I had already started on, well before this video, and you may have even seen them in the update video. But Cap was already made for the Endgame release, and I'll show him towards the end of this video, of course. But yeah, so Falcon, by the way, was really time consuming. Like, the torso was hard to do, the wings were the first time I actually made proper wings for him. Because for Avengers Infinity War, I didn't really do it properly. I don't remember what wings I used, but it wasn't good. But yeah, so I'm really excited for this show, and it's, to be honest, in my opinion, it's probably going to be a lot better than WandaVision. So, I mean, that's just my opinion. Let me know what you think Falcon Soldier is going to be like down in the comments, because it's coming out tomorrow for me, and that's great. And what else is great is that we're going to get a look at all four of these. So first up, here is Falcon, and it was really cool to see. Spoilers for Avengers Endgame in case you haven't seen it, but it's been like 2 years now. So basically, when Cap turned into an old man after sorting out the stones, the Infinity Stones, he came back and then gave his shield to Falcon now, and so we're probably going to get to see him use it a bunch in the show because of that. And that's the only reason why I have a standing Captain America. But yeah, so that is basically it for the shield, and no spoilers from this point, just had to clarify something in that segment right there. So if we just move the shield out the way for the second, and I guess the whole arm can come out as well. So here's a look at the figure now without the shield in the hand. And so he looks pretty good, in my opinion. I think he turned out exactly what I was hoping for. And he's definitely the best Falcon figure I think I can make. And last thing, he's also my favourite. Like, the costume that he has is also my favourite that he's ever worn in the MCU and things. But yeah, on to the actual figure now. I used the Infinity War head and hair. And then again, everyone uses this hair for him, I think. Unless you're really good at painting hair on the head. But I didn't want to paint hair on the head because I happen to like the other face as the stand falls over, and so there, the back of the head looks really good and it's not worth painting onto. So did that. I left that how it is, but just to get the wings out of the way so I can discuss the rest of the figure. The wings were made using the custom Adventure Time Finn minifigure, and so basically what I did was take his backpack and repaint the straps and the back of it, and then I just glued the wings onto the back as well, like onto the back. If I just remove them real quick, they can come off that easily. I just used some E-tape and just attempted to get them to stick together, and it worked out. I didn't paint that whole area right there because it doesn't get seen unless you really take a close look at it. Yeah, got the detail on this side and the detail on this side, and I had to retry this wing because I didn't get the shape right, but I think I'm satisfied with it now. And I didn't want to add too much detail because I like the wings how they are, honestly. But that's the wings. And as for the backpack being used from Finn, I can always make a different one and just update that figure at some point with a new backpack. But yeah, so the rest of the figure, the torso, fully painted, and I had a close look at everything I could see in the trailer to get this torso as good as possible, and same went for the arms and the rest of the figure. So I should mention that the gauntlets as well came from Firestar Toys, and I think that in Firestar Toys website, I think you can get like these arm pieces from Clone Army Customs. I'm not sure if that's where they came from, but I think I have no idea, honestly. I ordered those a while ago and painted them up a while ago. But it has all the things that he has on his gauntlets in the show, and that's awesome. and while they are under-detailed, they're fine and they make the figure look a bit more detailed than he is, I think. And this is also the second version of the arms, because the first version of the arms, I'm gonna real quick get them. They looked like this before, where I just painted the brown onto the arms at first, and I realised it didn't work out because it didn't look too good. But this time I actually used some standard brown arms to make this figure with, and then I painted on all the details that you see, all of the red lining across the shoulders, and then some wrist detail that's hiding behind the gauntlets. But it's fine because he doesn't really, I don't think he's going to take these gauntlets off from the show unless he's not fighting crime. But yeah, man, the legs have basically, all the detail you can see right there, and I really did try and take a closer look. Like, I paused different frames of the trailer to see what his legs would look like, and I think they turned out pretty good. So yeah, and they continue onto the back as well, including the back of the torso, which isn't that important. And yeah, I don't think I continue them on into the middle of the legs because you don't really see them. But yeah, that is it for Falcon, and I think he turned out really good. And by the way, we've had this lighting the entire way through. Why is my camera being so nasty to me today? Next up is the Winter Soldier / Bucky Barnes. And I don't think he's called White Wolf anymore, but that's fine. So something different happened with the torso. This is not the first version that I made, because originally I thought for Falcon Winter Soldier he would have his Infinity War costume, so I just have it on the desk here. I made his Infinity War costume before making this torso, but then I took a look at the trailer and I realised he didn't have that black strap coming down, and these parts on the top of the torso as well weren't there, so this was the wrong design. So then I had to make this one, and I think it turned out a lot cooler, even if it's under detailed. It has a lot of the details that was already in the trailer as well. Yeah, I should also mention there's some slight little red details up right there, so it's hard to see on camera, but they are there. And I should mention, some of the things that you see in the showcase, the colours that they are, they're not always like that in real life when I'm holding the customs. But yeah, so this arm came from the Bricktober version, the Bricktober Bucky, as my stand breaks. This is not a very good stand, I'm literally using 2 pieces. But yeah, so this arm is just the Bricktober Bucky arm, because I used their head from that figure on my Civil War Bucky, and I wasn't going to use it again for this figure, so I used Poe Dameron's head. And then, yeah, so that's what happened with that. And then the hairstyle is pretty obvious, just the Superman hairstyle, or whatever the hell. This hairstyle's been used on like practically most male figures now. And then the legs have the standard brown design that isn't painted. I did paint on the boots, and I gave them an E-tape belt that wraps around to the side of the legs, and I think it goes onto the back as well. Yeah, it does. And then the back of the torso was inspired by the back of the minifigure from the Bricktober pack, so that's great. And I don't really get all the details exactly spot on, but it's the back of the torso, and not as exciting as a friggin' jetpack. But yeah, so that is it for Bucky Barnes. I think I've said "but" yeah like at least 3 times throughout this segment, but I hope you guys like how he turned out, because I certainly do. Let's go ahead and move on to Zemo. So Zemo is basically a makeshift custom other than the head, because once I saw him in like the trailer 2 of the show's release and things, I saw that mask and I was like, I can't just not make that. I have to have Zemo in the video. And so I made the mask with some sculpt material that I got recently, and it's the first thing that I sculpted with the newer stuff that I got. So what I used was the ATM robber head from Spider-Man Homecoming set. It was the Captain America one, and I just sculpted all over that head to get the mask to look like this, and I left out the eye holes, and then painted the entire thing in a light purple with the black lines that don't continue onto the back that well. I mean, kind of, but not really. And then the torso is from Snape from Harry Potter, and the legs have nothing going on with them. So yeah, that is it for Zemo. He's literally the simplest figure in this video, even with the stand-in cap, which you're going to look at now. And last but not least is my Endgame Captain America. He's only in this video because I'm sure they're going to mention him in the show. And, you know, if I had to change some things up on this custom, I would definitely change the legs. I changed the head to the official Lego head because I was not a fan of the one that I made for Avengers Endgame release. And if you're curious about that showcase and want to see those awful figures, because I do plan to update them at some point, because I have a load of figures that I want to update as well. The showcase right in there. So yeah, but other than that, if you want to hear about this figure, just like I said, watch that link. There's really much else to mention, so why don't we just go ahead and wrap this up. Okay guys, that is it for the second Disney Plus showcase. And let me know what you guys think about these figures down in the comments, and also what you think is going to happen in the show, because I'm definitely quite curious. And for those people that like WandaVision a lot, I'm sorry to say this, but I'm more excited for this show than I am. I mean, I have seen all the episodes from WandaVision, but with this show it's a lot more exciting because it takes place after Endgame. I mean, I'm sure WandaVision did as well. I think that took place after Infinity War. Anyway, I'm gonna get going. I hope you guys like all 4 of these, because I put a lot of work into them other than Cap, because, like I said, for a millionth time, he's a stand-in. So yeah, the next Disney Plus showcase is going to be on Loki, because that show, I've just realised by checking Instagram and everything, it comes out on June 11th. So I'll be happy to make a figure for that around June time, so look forward to that. And other than that, I've said that like 5 times. I'm gonna get going, and I might still do reactions for this show because it didn't really work out with WandaVision, as I was worried about copyright. So I'm gonna try and see if I can do it for tomorrow. But if I don't do it, it's probably because I have no idea how to edit that. But I'm gonna go ahead and figure that stuff out while I figure out the next showcase and all that stuff, and leave you guys to enjoy the show along with this video as well. Anyway, I'll catch you guys next time. Peace.